Rob McEwen told Bnww last week that his company has a generally good relationship with local drug gangs in Mexico, but he says he wants to clarify that statement. Andrew Bell has spoken to Rob McEwen, and Andrew Bell is with us now.
So I spoke to him last week, and now he's put out a statement this morning in which he says, I want to clarify my remarks because this has created something of a minor storm in the Mexican media. For example, Reforma, a leading paper down there, had a headline in Spanish. The rough translation is mining seeds to crime. So it caused a bit of a sensation that a miner would openly acknowledge that they have a relationship with local drug gangs. Now, you have to assume that de facto you are going to have to live with these people because they control, swathes of the countryside.
I'm not sure I would assume that. I mean, these are criminal gangs. I know the police presence can be very, very weak in some parts of Mexico.
That's open to debate. But anyway, Mr. McEwen, Rob McEwen, of course, came on Bnww because more than $7 million worth of gold was stolen in the form of concentrate from his El Gallo mine in the country. So he came on, in fairness to him, he had bad news, and he came on to talk about it, what happened, they got through 4 security gates, etc. And then in the course of the interview, we asked him, well, is it dangerous down there? Is it a crime-ridden part of Mexico? So let's have a listen to what he actually said.
It hasn't been. I mean, the cartels are active down there. Generally, we've had a good relationship with them. If we want to go explore somewhere, you ask them, and they tell you no. But then they'll say, come back in a couple of weeks. We've finished what we're doing.
What are they doing, like transporting drugs or something?
Oh, they might be harvesting them, or a lot of the problems happen higher in the mountains, and we're in the foothills.
So obviously the optics in Mexico weren't so good.
I gotta say, I'm surprised at what he said there.
I was kind of gobsmacked. I only asked one follow-up question. I was really surprised. I should have asked more follow-up questions, perhaps. But he said his remarks mainly referred to landowners. He said, what I was getting at, my answer, I'm quoting, was related to gaining access to properties we wish to explore. It's our policy to contact all property owners or impacted community members in an area to seek their permission.
I mean, on one front, he's simply talking about the realities, I guess, of doing business in some of these countries. But it highlights, I think, for what we've talked about on the show before at different points, is whenever you're evaluating a gold mining company, a resource company of any sort, one of the primary considerations isn't necessarily the strength of the resource, it's the jurisdiction in which you're doing business. We've owned Goldcorp in the past and Barrick in the past. We don't have any exposure to gold right now in our private client portfolios. But it is absolutely critical that you are in an environment where you can actually exploit the resource and be free, relatively free of government regulation, changing regulation, and obviously crime and the circumstances that your enterprise is working under to extract the resource is critical.
And Mexico has always been known as a safe, as a politically solid jurisdiction.
Oh, they love mining.
A very pro-mining jurisdiction.
Yeah.
But this instance shows you it's not simply the posture of the government that can affect a company. It's the rule of law, which you referred to in the context of another country earlier, Carl, and the effectiveness of police forces, which I gather in some places in Mexico they are very, very weak.
Yeah, it's a real tragedy for a lot of the country as well. And you referred to Goldcorp. They had to take a big write-down on their Argentine mine, as you know, because of the foreign exchange rules, arbitrary rules imposed by the government. So, yeah, especially as they go into more and more exotic and perhaps dangerous locales, the miners.